Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Sydney Parade. If you were with us this morning, delighted to have you back. If you're just joining us for this game, just as delighted. We've all had a little bit of refreshment between game one here today and game two, which we're about to start. Team in blue out there in the field, that's the Leinster Lightning. And the batting team in green are the Northwest Warriors. They won the toss and have somewhat bucked the trend today. Captain Andrew McBride of the Warriors has decided to bat first, just changing the first three games. So we're all set to start here. Stephen Doherty and Liam Doherty out in the middle. Barry McCarthy with the ball in hand. No surprise there after yesterday's heroics. In a moment, I'll introduce you my co-com today. So here comes McCarthy on the mark straight away. And once again, delighted to have Craig Senior alongside me here. A big game again today. Everyone seems to be big. What are we thinking today?
Well, we saw another, unfortunately, one-sided game this morning with the Northern Knights dominating with the bat. Well, Andy McBride has, as you say, bucked the trend. He's won the toss and decided to have a bat first. And we'll see if that makes any difference to the outcome of the game. No surprise, Barry McCarthy opening after yesterday's 4 overs for 3 runs. And already he's conceded more than that.
Right on the money there. He called that yesterday. Bowled his whole spell for just 3 runs. It's got quite a lot of coverage on social media right around the globe. Bowling a spell for 3 runs, but add to that is 5 wickets as well. As you say, Craig, second ball today, down leg side. Only just inside it, tickles it away for 4. He's conceded more runs after 2 deliveries today. It's in the air, just short of man at point. Just on the half volley, Tim Tector there. A bit unlucky.
Wasn't far off there, took the edge of the bat, it flew in the air out towards point, but just died in front of Tim Tector. Not really a chance, but certainly it's something that will alarm the Northwest batsmen, and they'll certainly want to keep on top of that.
Yeah, again, just playing those shots, obviously early in an innings. Kind of been a template over the past 2 days. It's a little bit fuller. He was able to keep that one down, but again, no run. So yeah, it has been a bit of a template for the innings that we've seen that have gone well. Scoring out a run a ball early, not really going, playing those big shots at the start of your innings. Getting the pace of the pitch seems to be so vital over these past 2 days, and giving yourself a chance to pick up your scoring rate as the game goes along, whereas some of the dismissals we've seen have been playing big shots a little bit too early in your innings.
Yeah, we've said it all throughout the 3 games we've seen so far, and the same will apply to this game. Once you get yourself in, far easier to score runs. It's that initial period, and we've seen too many people getting out for less than double figures, or as you say, have gone for the big shot just far too early and have ended up mistiming or clothing shots. We've seen a lot going straight up in the air. So perhaps Doherty and Doheny will have learned from that, and perhaps might try and pace their innings.
McCarthy to finish. This is the first. That's full driven. I think that'll be the second boundary of the over. 8 from that first over from McCarthy, and the Warriors will be delighted with that start. 8 without loss.
Yeah, well, McCarthy, generally a good over, but this one just a little wide, little full, and just punched away through point. Once it gets through the ring, it was going to run down towards the railway line. 4 more, 2 boundaries off his first over. Well, over the 2 days he'd still be happy, but he'll want to improve that. Now coming on at the nursery end, it will be Fionn Hand. He's got 2 slips in place, same as McCarthy. Quite an attacking field. Sam Harbison it is who's jogged across the wicket and is going all the way out to the railway line. And Sidhu going across to the other side, the opposite side.
Yeah, Fionn Hand didn't bowl badly at all yesterday. 1 for 17 from his spell. But
any other day.
A little bit overshadowed.
Yeah, any other day would have been superb figures.
Yeah. Anyway, here he comes. That's full. And now it's Liam Docherty's turn. Again, just playing up-ish. Okay, it's gone for a boundary. Punching gloves with that, but it could so easily have gone to the cover fielder. And we'd be talking about another soft dismissal. It's on the up.
A little bit of width allowed him to get his hands through it. And as you say, it was a bit uppish, but safely so.
And finally, yeah, Cawthorne takes a little while and then decides to give the wide. I think you'd mentioned in the last game, Craig, that another aspect of where the Northern Knights have been very, very good over these past 2 games is their extras. They only conceded 4 in both innings in the field. That's been very, very good.
It's been excellent when you see other sides giving away 20 plus extras to have conceded only 8 in 2 games. A marvellous performance by the Northern Knight bowlers.
Plus the runs that come from the extra deliveries that we don't sort of necessarily count as extras. They're the extra runs that come. Interesting that just after that shot from Docherty, just tapped into the leg side with big open spaces, that George Dockrell, the skipper, has decided to dispense of himself at second slip, come into mid-wicket. That's a good nut. Fionn Hand, good carry. Bent the back with that one. Beats Docherty.
Generating some good pace here from the nursery end. Hand.
Yeah, terrific character. Saw him warm up there and, you know, having a bit of fun with his teammates and sort of making that warm up a good sort of team environment. There's that shot again, yet again, and yet again another wicket. Easy catch for Barry McCarthy, I think, there. And I mean, it's something that surely the coaches have got to be looking at here. That's another pull shot going straight up into the air. And Stephen Docherty, 8 runs in that first over. He's back in the hutch now already. 14 for 1.
Well, again, we've seen this time and time again over the course of 3 games. People have just taken on that shot, not middling the ball, and it's falling quite handily for fielders. But a great start for the Lightning. They'll be delighted. Fionn Hand with his first wicket of the day.
Yeah, just Stephen Docherty after that sort of public that he scored in, you know, in that A tour. It was quite well publicised, that 100 he got in that one-day game for the Wolves. He really had a chance to come back here. He's still got another game tomorrow, of course, but it would have been a great opportunity for him to get a couple of half-centuries here, but going to be a wide as well, I think. Yep. So I just thought he wanted to really just catch the eye of the selectors here ahead of the Pakistan series in particular, maybe. Just a real nudge here, but 2 low scores in 2 days. And again, just that second over playing that pull shot. And I know we've been talking quite a bit about it, but that's because it's been happening quite a bit. Chance nicked wide of Dockrell, who's back in it. Second slip. Jared Wilson, who's out there. We've seen it. Next batter was Jared Wilson of Cliftonville Academy.
Well, yeah, people are just trying to be too positive too early, I feel. And they're going for these big shots. Yes, they need to be positive, but I do feel that the fact that they're playing in as T20 is preying on minds, and they're feeling the need to be exceptionally positive. Another one.
Again, this one's going to be safe. Will it run away to the boundary? Touch and go. And he pulled it back. Good effort there. Riley down there. He's come into the team today. Great effort. But yet again, another shot in that same sort of position on it. I know people think they'll be saying it's a very productive shot. Normally, yeah, I can see that, but the evidence is there. You've watched it for 3 games now. Early on in your innings, it's difficult to play that pull shot. Certainly when you're in for 20, 25, 30 balls, you've got the pace of the pitch. It becomes a lot easier. Just the evidence that's in front of you at the minute is get yourself in and then take it on.
Yeah, the amount of time you need to be in is sort of almost facing 3 overs yourself before you can start taking on those shots with the confidence that we saw this morning from Sterling, from Adair. Both big hits of the ball. But on this occasion, Diney, well, he thought it was there to be hit, and it turned out it wasn't quite. Whether it's still just slowing up in the pitch, or it depends where it's pitched. But the pitch itself doesn't seem to have misbehaved.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
misjudging it slightly.
I don't think the pitch rather has been too paced or anything like that. I just think you need a little bit of time. Some wickets you can just pick it up very quickly. But this one does seem to be something that you kind of need to wait. And again, I'll go back and reference what Mark Adair said this morning. He said he thought his batters had paced their innings really well. Their tempo was good, that they weren't caught racking up dot balls, but at the same time, they weren't playing anything rash and losing wickets. And the worry here is that the Warriors don't learn from their mistakes from yesterday. 2-3 down in the power play, and then they're playing catch up.
Yeah, the wickets falling in the power play, as we said, so important in this form of the game. It's nicely pushed through on the offside. Tim Tector chasing after it. Just gets to it, but not in time. It goes for the boundary. 4 more. And that's a nice cricket shot. Just played out on the offside, and you get your 4 runs for it. They don't all have to be big smashes down the ground. And that was beautifully played. You can see Tim Tector really putting the effort in here. Just not there in time.
I think that's what we're talking about. Jared Wilson just giving a little bit of room, but he was quite still when he made contact with the ball. Middled it. Didn't really carry too much risk that shot. He just pushed through the line. He's got 4. That's a much riskier shot. Could be out. Dropped.
Unfortunate for McCarthy.
We city down there. Just we're checking. I think the umpire's checking as well. That's why I was a little bit hesitant, because I thought
they've just been batting it down.
I thought he was just tapping it down, but it didn't look as if he'd gone over the rope to push it back. In the end, it just looked like he just dropped the catch, possibly.
That's what it looked like from here. Now we are the furthest away we could be.
Yeah.
But McCarthy doesn't look too happy. That's the look of a bowler who's just had a catch put down.
He's a bit closer, and we can see his face. He doesn't look too enamored at that. Strangled appeal from Harry Tector at offhand. Barry McCarthy. Catch was a catch, in inverted commas, was dropped anyway. But obviously no bat on it, according to Aidan Seaver, our umpire at this end, because he's given a wide.
Was the appeal to stop the wide, or was it to get the batsman out? Bit of both.
Pays your money. In the end, it didn't matter either way. The umpire said it. It was a wide, didn't hit it. Wide enough down that leg side. Just increases McCarthy's frustration, possibly. Can he get down to stop that? Half stop from Riley. Tucker helps out. Just check the umpire there. Giving us runs, I think.
Just taps off to the hip, picking up more runs. And the Warriors getting away to a nice start as far as the run rate's concerned.
Just don't get too carried away though. Taking McCarthy for 17 here in 2. Pre-game. Coaching staff would accept that. That's slashed over the slips and no chance for anyone there. Seems to be the MO for Jared Wilson, stepping away to leg. Just throwing his hands at it. And takes a healthy edge down to the boundary. Boundary and 21 from McCarthy's first 2, wicketless. And as you say, Craig, no problems with the run rate now, 31 for 1. If they can build on this, it'll be a decent start for the Warriors.
Well, the run rate racing away, just as it did in this morning's game. The important thing here now for the Warriors is to keep going, but without blatant, obvious risks.
That's well timed. Played that a little bit better. Kept it down. Let the ball come to him. Just swiveled with the hips. A nice boundary on this occasion for Liam Doherty.
Well, the timing was exceptional because that absolutely flew away to the boundary. The speed at which that reached the boundary. Super shot, and again a proper cricket shot.
There it is again. He's got enough of it. We want to beat 2. And there's the difference in the 2 shots. That one, he's playing out in front of him. The ball before, he's let it come to him and played it behind square along the ground. That one though, he's possibly even a little early on the shot and is hitting it in the air.
And that's it, and that's how we've seen people getting out, is by being just a little split second early onto it and mistiming it, clothing it.
Persistent with the short of a normal length. The on hand.
Well, we still have this layer of cloud over the top, but not as cold as it was this morning.
Definitely a few degrees warmer. Change in the field. Bringing up third man. Finally it goes back. Not giving that as a wide.
One for the over though, most definitely.
Doherty's having a quick glance at and see whether he thought that was well over his head. A definite ploy there because they've changed the field straight back again. Finally it comes up into the circle, third man goes back. He can't bowl that bouncer now. Instead he bowls an absolute beauty, leaving Liam Doherty through to Lorcan Tucker.
Lovely delivery from hand. He's mixing it up so far this afternoon. He's had a couple that have beaten the edge of the bat.
one. Very tactile there. It's just a single. 38 for one from 4. A reasonable start from the Warriors, you have to say. Lost Donny, but these two have consolidated the next couple of overs, and it's still keeping the run rate up. Just about to mention a couple of changes for the Leinster Lightning today from yesterday. About to see one of those changes. Ruben Wilson, this is out today, replaced by number 19 colleague Ollie Riley. Number 11 on his back. He's going to come on and bowl. This is the 5th over. The other change in 4th. Gavin Hoy not available today, and Amish Sidhu has come in to the Lightning starting lineup. It's going to be Ollie Riley. Not a great start.
No, overstepping and wide. He's obviously keen. You can see from his run up, he's putting a lot of effort into it. And on this occasion, slight overstepping, and the umpire straight onto that. So starting his spell with a free hit, not ideal. And that's why Captain George Dockrell just having a quiet word with his bowler.
Difficult. For the second ball you've bowled, but no reward for this one. Got enough on that. What's the spin down there? Yep, and he does well. He's just kept it to 1.
Excellent piece of fielding down in the deep by Tim Tector there. A one-handed pick up and return. Meaning the free hit doesn't really cost too much.
Just got to relax a little bit here. Riley, both balls short and wide outside the off stump. No protection on the offside. Apart from that man, deep. That's going to be a wide as well. That's really wide. Could have taken out Balbernie at first slip nearly. Just going to correct the action a little bit here.
Nervy start for the youngster. Knows he's up against the Warriors' top order.
Yeah, no timing there. Bit of work to do for Barry McCarthy there. If he misses that, that'll be 4 overthrows. He did really well, the big man.
Certainly, Ollie Riley would be grateful not to concede 4 from the covers.
Exactly.
Well, the one slip is now coming out as well and going out the leg side, giving a bit more support, I'm sure, for fielding rather than backing up.
He got enough on that, and once again he has. Just clearing Fee on hand down there on the square boundary.
Well, Ollie Riley, he's being tested out by the Northwest Warriors at the moment. He just a bit short. Now he's also a bit short and a bit wide at the moment, but it's that length that's letting the batsman turn on the ball.
That's well hit.
That's a beautiful
That's really
shot.
well hit. Signed off the bat there. Again, still at contact, is moving around in the crease. Good bit, Jared Wilson, but on contact, reasonably still. See it again here that he is moving around. Makes good contact with that one.
Absolutely still as the bowler ran up. Just moved the front foot a little to give himself the room on the offside and crashed it away square. Beautiful boundary. And that's 50 up for the Warriors in this, the 5th over. Is there a part of this you feel that we've got the best batting day on this track? 2 games being played on it yesterday, 1 this morning.
I think it's getting better for batting, let's say that, because there's been no real rain. There was a little bit of moisture this morning following a little skiff during the night. There was a little bit of moisture this morning, but certainly now with that, I'm going to say it, a little bit of heat. Not a great deal, a little bit of heat we've got now. Does appear to be drying out a little bit. It's wide again. Going to get away with that one. Get over for the Warriors. And with 1 over to go on the power play, it's 51 for 1. Skipper Andy McBride. He'd be happy enough at the moment, I would think.
Oh, very much so. I think he'd definitely be the happier of the 2 captains. Although the Leinster Lightning have taken a wicket, I think George Dockrell would have liked another 1 or 2 in this power play to really put some pressure on the Warriors. But as it is, the Warriors have got away to a flyer.
Yeah, I've got to hold my hand up a little bit here. When I saw that unchanged lineup, I did sort of think that possibly they would change the batting lineup a little bit for the Warriors. They might push Jared Wilson down into his normal 5th, 5 and 6, sort of towards the end of an innings. Maybe push up Scott Macbeth. Played well yesterday. Sam Harbinson has come on. It's in the air. It's just going to drop short again. Tim Tactor down there. Yeah, I thought they might sort of move everybody up 1 and have Scott Macbeth coming in 4. He may well still do that. A minute, Cian Hilton would be in that position. But the way he played yesterday, Scott Macbeth. But they've decided to stick with the same 11 to start with, and it seems the same batting lineup. But Jared Wilson has moved on to 22, so he's doing a good job at the moment. He's doing a better job now.
Scattering the spectators in the nook. Good job they're watching the cricket. Kept an eye on that and just knew when to swerve out of the way. Nice shot. Again, a batsman who's spent a couple of overs getting himself in. He's on 28 now. He feels he has the measure of the pitch to take on that shot.
I think you can see the timing was there. He's got the pace of the pitch a little bit better now. Oh, he's going to get away with that. Best shot in the book.
There's no defence you can put up against that sort of shot. Once it beats the keeper, it was 4 all the way. And the runs just keep coming for the Northwest Warriors.
Yep. 2 boundaries, but completely different spectrums. One beautiful shot down the ground, this one. Top edge, straight over the top of Morgan Tucker. No chance for anyone. This is big over at the minute. It's in the air, but you've got plenty of that again. 6 more. This is now turning into an excellent over and an excellent power play for the Warriors. Jared Wilson doing the business here.
Lovely shot. Moved back to give himself some room to play to the offside, and then still found himself putting it out over the leg side to those players' tents. Another 6. Now, another conversation going on at the far end. Barry McCarthy passing on some experience. That's the perfect example of what we were talking about earlier. We've seen too many players with that sort of ball have tried to take on that pull shot. But on this occasion, well, they had the sense just to play it out in the offside, not going for too big a hit, not trying to take too much out of the ball.
Well, he's in now. He's 39 from just 16. He's a couple of big 6s and a boundary in this over, a little bit more fortunate. But he's setting the team up reasonably well now. And I think they're just one run short of where the Northern Knights were this morning. They went on to score 224, so the platform being set here by the Warriors. Jared Wilson, 39. Liam Doherty much more sedate. He's still 16 though, scoring over 100. That's where we're looking at. That's what we've been saying, you know, that sort of run rate. Maybe Jared Wilson's the exception that proves the rule here. He's just going at every ball now. It's coming off for him. It's reducing spin by the look of it. George Dockrell's going to take the mantle himself. Come on here on the 7th over. So again, it's the template we talked about in the first match. Craig, good start from the Warriors. Next 6 or 7 overs, possibly not losing too many wickets, maybe 1, 2 at worst, and working it around for another possibly 60 runs in the next, say, 8 overs, and then go big at the end. That's the sort of template we're looking at now.
Certainly the Warriors have come out very positively. 69 from the first 6. And this has gone way up in the air. That is an absolute steepler. He'll do well to catch that, and he does. And that's the 2nd wicket. My goodness, that was up there a long time.
Yeah, that's the template. Put in the shredder. Because Jared Wilson, we have to say, I think he has been sent out there to do what he's done, to be fair. He's been one of the few that's come off of those shots, but perishes in the first ball after the power play. And it was really a long way up in the air. You can see how long it's taken to come down. In hand, but see if his house is underneath it. Give him a lot of time to prepare. Maybe sometimes it takes too much time to think about it, but he got in a really good position. Took the catch. 2nd wicket falls. Jared Wilson goes for a well-made 39 from 17.
He's done a super job for his team. If he was sent out as a pinch hitter, as you say, his normal position a little lower in the order, well, he's come out and been so positive and played proper cricket shots. And Dockrell picks up a wicket with his first ball. Well, the captain wanted to come on, and with no Gavin Hoey, of course, today, Dockrell brought himself on. Not wishing probably to expose Sidhu to batsmen being so positive so early.
Yeah, I think you're right. And that's, you can possibly see on screen there, it's Kane Hilton who's come in at 4, as we suspected, not changing the lineup, batting lineup so far from yesterday. Young player, played quite well yesterday. Showed a good bit of energy in the team. Just come into the Warriors squad this season. As he played. From Doherty. He's quietly going about his business there so far. He's let Jared Wilson play that role that possibly he was sent in to do. He's going to more than a run a ball. That's possibly what these two look to do in the next 5 or 6 overs. Certainly not lose a wicket. Just pick up the singles and 2s if they can.
On the other side of the coin, Dockrell bowling a very neat over here.
Fired in there, I think it was a quicker ball.
Crashing into the pads, but even Dockrell's appeal was more a question than a statement.
A little bit stifled there. Yeah, going down leg. Very kind of him. Just as we were watching that replay, he was going to bowl that ball, but he stopped for us, so we didn't miss it. Thanks, George.
Well, that's a very sharply taken single. They saw there was nobody there on the leg side. Free run almost. And Dockrell finishes his first over, 1 for 3. And the score has moved on 72 for 2. Well, we said earlier at the end of the power play that Andy McBride would be the happier of the two skippers. But one ball after that power play saw the demise of Stephen Doheny. Oh, sorry, completely wrong. Jared Wilson, who'd scored a lot of runs very quickly. He'd come in at number 3 and set about the bowling.
Yeah, but he's done his job there for the Warriors, you have to say.
Absolutely.
39 off 17. Can't really complain about that. Just up to the rest of them now to back it up.
Well, as we were saying in the first game, they had that 2 over period where they only scored 4 runs, but such a solid start that it didn't matter. Yep. And you could see off those overs if they were particularly dangerous. And the Northwest Warriors now have put themselves in a similar position where they've got a really good start, 72 for 2 from just 7 overs. There are 2 wickets down, but even Stevens at the moment, I'd say.
Yep, it's going to be Ollie Riley. He's going to swap ends here. See if we can get the radar right this occasion. A little bit short and wide. First up. Nice easy single there.
It's good to see the hustle in the field by the Leinster Lightning here. They're keen, they're getting the ball in quickly. There's no sort of jogging around. They really are on top form, in the mood for this game. And the Warriors are putting it up to them at the moment.
Fine leg comes in. Of course, we're out of the power play now, of course. So 2 men back on the leg side. You can't suggest something of the shorter variety. He's quite full, but that's a cracking shot. Well fielded out there. Fionn Hannigan in the business. That was a really lovely shot from Liam Doherty. Right on top of it, middled it. Consider himself a little bit unfortunate he didn't get a boundary for that.
It was hit well enough to deserve 4, but fine diving stop by Fionn Hand makes all the difference as far as the Lightning are concerned. Another sharply taken single.
Yeah, like this. The Warriors, as we say, they've got that base, so if they take singles for the next 4 overs, 3-4 overs, that will get them up towards the 100 mark, of possibly 11 or 12. It'd be crucial that they don't lose a couple of wickets in that period. Just exposes back end of the innings. Could have been there, inside edge, another single.
Well, that one kind of missed the stumps by much, but as you say, they're still looking to play positively. They will take the singles when they're there, but woe betide the bowler who bowls short and wide. You'll see the full face of the bat coming out on that occasion, as it has a few times already.
Much straighter in this over, Ollie Riley.
It is funny how changing ends for a bowler can make such a difference. Sometimes things just slip into place. Sometimes you can play in some grounds, and certainly in the lower leagues where maybe the facilities aren't as smooth as here, where you're running downhill because you're the fast bowler, and in fact you just end up overstepping, overstriding. Captain makes you run up the hill, and suddenly everything clicks.
It's just a nice shot again from Hilton. He's comfortable with it. Times it into the leg side. Again, you can see he's looking for 2. 2 young players at the crease here. Good to see. Energetic, looking for the 2s. Been a feature of Ken Hilton's play. Under 19 side, and then yesterday as well. Look forward to seeing a lot more of him this coming season. Dockrell's going to continue.
Well, his first over paid immediate dividends. And he's been quite economical after that.
That's full. Driven. Game confidently. By Hilton.
Yeah, Hilton looked useful yesterday. He'll be looking to do the same again today. Liam Doherty, well, he was one of the openers and he's doing a fine job for his side. Scoring it over a runner ball, but also providing the solidity.
Yeah, poor ball. Knew it straight away. See his body language straight away. Knew he'd drag that down. Still needs to be put away though. Hilton does just that. Into the vacant space on the leg side. He gets a boundary.
As you said earlier, Ali, all it takes is one boundary and a few singles and you're up at 8, 9, 10 and over.
Oh, he's giving him this time. Hilton dejected there. He's very disappointed with that. Short enough ball that he had time to go back. You can see there. He is disappointed with himself there. Playing with a straight bat. Could have just knocked that into the open spaces in the leg side for a single. He's missed it. The umpire in favour, giving the decision to the Lightning skipper.
Well, second wicket for Dockrell. 2 overs has brought forth 2 wickets for him.
Look at it, see what you think.
Very familiar bowling action. Well, the appeal was... It didn't need to be as ferocious because they knew what the answer was going to be.
Yeah, I just think that was... He had enough time to go onto the back foot and just punch that into the leg side. Quite surprised he missed it. But he did, and that's his downfall. Shane Gatgate, vastly experienced player in the provincial cricket. Just joined Phoenix this year from Estonians in the Northern Cricket Union. Come down to play in Leinster for Phoenix. I think he may have played for every at the provincial side. Shane.
He certainly has had a few transfers during his time.
Yeah, but he's settled with the Warriors now and captained them quite a few occasions last year when Andy McBride wasn't available. So I think he's fairly settled with the Warriors now. He'd love to get a few runs today. Hasn't really looked in the greatest nick recently. The talent with the bat is there. I think for the past few years, even though Paul Stirling was playing for North Down in the NCU, I don't think many had a bigger ball than Shane Gatgate. He got those hands going. For me, he was one of the biggest hitters of a ball. But not really the job for him now, I think, with that third wicket. I think it is just to hang around and give himself an opportunity to maybe go big later on. Hang around here now, these Warriors. The Lightning will be doing the opposite. They'll be looking to go bang bang here. Sidhu will have his ball here. Possibly that could be why, Greg, that they've picked up those 2 wickets now. He can give Sidhu a ball here. See what he can do.
Well, Dockrell came on as the first spinner, which wasn't the case yesterday when Hoey was around. One feels he may have been shielding young Sidhu. However, he's on now. He's bowling from the nursery end. It'll be Shane Getgate. Gets to see how much turn the youngster can get from this pitch.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. It's been a massive amount. Doing a little bit. A real test for Shane Getgate here. Double left arm spin yesterday. Lost his wicket to Matthew Humphreys from the Knights. Playing back to a ball. She nicked through the Neil Rock. Similar to that. This time he negotiates at the point, but no run.
The youngster will be gaining confidence with every dot ball. And he won't mind that either. Coming down the track, getting very much to the pitch of the ball.
Yeah, almost yorked himself there in a way. I think he was looking to go straight over the bowler's head. Something a bit more powerful, but he got the ball trapped under his bat. Happy to get down the other end.
Well, they run the first one quickly, but there won't be a second. Fielder out there does a good job. Last ball of the over now.
That's not the line to bowl there. Going to spin away. We'll go for 4. Yeah, lost his line there. Sit out. A free hit, kind of for Getgate. Nicely done though. Got plenty on it. Got it behind square. You can see it spun away there. The boundary in the over. Once again, looking to go down the track, but just gets too close to the ball. Not a bad over for the first one from Ami Sidhu.
Well, the score has moved on to 90 for 3. 10 overs gone. We're halfway through this innings. And the Warriors will still be happy enough with the way things have progressed. It's a good solid base they have there. And now 10 overs remaining for them to set an imposing target for the Leinster Lightning. And again, it doesn't need to be bad. Just that one boundary and over. Plenty of singles. Take the runs as they're offered to you.
Absolutely. 90 for 3, 9 and over. So give yourselves that opportunity of trying to pick up runs in the last 3 or 4. Can't afford to lose too many now in the next 5 overs though. Nicely bowled.
Interesting phase of the game now, as you say. The Warriors, they have the 2 bridges of wanting to score runs quickly but not wanting to lose wickets.
And they've just done that. Quicker through the air from Dockrell. Pushed through. That's beaten Liam Doherty for pace. He was on the back foot. Skidded through. Took the off stump. I think it was just the off stump. Either way, it doesn't really matter. The bails fell off. Tucker made sure the umpire knew that it hit the stumps. Dockrell strikes again. Doherty going for 21.
Well, yesterday it was the Barry McCarthy show. Today the skipper stepping up and proving most profitable. 3 wickets for him now. And he's pegging back the Northwest Warriors. They still have a good base. They still have 6 wickets in hand. But Leinster Lightning, with this constant taking of wickets since the power play, they've taken a wicket every other over. They've all been from this St John's end, and they've all been wickets for George Dockrell.
Yeah, possibly that just went on with the arm. A little bit quicker, as I say. Actually hit middle stump. So Again, just a disappointing end to Doherty's. It ends up with a decent innings, but it's brought the skipper. With Andy McBride now coming in for the Warriors. And it's quite cliched to say, but this is a crucial partnership now for the team in green. Two most experienced players, you would say, with Craig Young. Certainly in the lineup, batting lineup, these two really need to come up trumps here and show all their skills here to try and get the Warriors really competitive total.
Dockrell going over the wicket to the left-handed McBride, captain to captain.
Yeah, have a look at his figures there. 3 for 11 from 3 nearly. As you say, he's been the one to take up the mantle today, brought himself on straight out of the power play. Been a run there.
Getgate was ready to go. His partner sent him back, and wisely so. There was no single there, that was for sure. So an excellent over for Dockrell. Just the 1 run and the 1 wicket. 3 for 11 from 3. He really has taken over the McCarthy mantle from yesterday.
Yeah, I'm wondering how you congratulate yourself, really. You give yourself a pat on the back. Just skipper.
Well, at least you don't have to try and take the ball out of your own hand.
I think he'll be having his 4th here in a second here, but you just don't want to get caught between 2 stools here now. The Warriors. These overs just ticking by here very quickly with the 2 spinners on. Right. You want to be looking up 14, 15 gone and you're less than 100. Or maybe losing another couple of wickets, as I say. It's a vital partnership now.
As you say, a big part of this having the 2 spinners on at the same time. Really speeds up the time of overs. And as you say, suddenly the game can drift away from you. You look up at the scoreboard and suddenly it's the 18th over. You're wondering where it all went.
Absolutely, yep. Just got to keep an eye on that. On the attack here. 12th over. Alberni's in at slip.
Getgate using all of his experience at this stage. Not trying to do too much. Just rotate the strike. Keep the scoreboard moving. As himself and McBride get themselves in. As we've said for the last couple of days, batting becomes a lot easier once you've been in for 3 or 4 overs.
A little bit wide there, but in the ground. Not a bad time to bowl for City, I don't think, here. These two do have that sort of aura of let's just stay in for a while. That's a missed chance.
Well, there's a bit of everything there. Getgate changing his shot, just getting enough of inside edge to bounce it past Tucker. He had gone down the track.
Difficult. Tucker with the ledge on it. But still a chance, possibly.
You can see Getgate, a little bit of frustration now. He's wanting to get bat on ball. It doesn't necessarily have to be big. Sidhu imploring the umpire. Umpire unmoved. See a replay of the delivery here. I can't make up my mind whether it hit him outside the line or was going down leg, but either way, I think umpire's made a fine decision there, despite the pleas of the bowler.
I don't think he'd be too annoyed by it, though, really. Yes, he would like to take the wicket, of course, but it's another dot ball, finishes the over, dot, dot, dot. bit of frustration there coming through, as you say, Craig, from Shane Kate. We'll see more spin. Got it wrong, actually. George Dockler has decided enough's enough. Going to bring on Harry Tector. Pull his off breaks. Obviously, his main benefit is his height here. Gets a lot of bounce. His off breaks. Possibly should bowl a little bit more for Ireland. He comes for his first ball. There is that bounce. Well controlled though for single.
It may be that we may see Harry Tector bowling a bit more during the World Cup. And look, the captain's still on the ground. He'll be watching to see how he gets on. But again, the way these interprovincials give you opportunities not just to get into a team, but show your captain perhaps something he doesn't know about you.
Yeah, a few different skills maybe. The captain was one talked about. Paul Stirling, who a lot of people would say was a little bit underbowled during his career. Hardly ever turned his arm over now. But even when he was younger, he bowled the overs that possibly should have. Sometimes in T20 he'd be throwing the ball. They opened the innings and didn't really bowl any spell. That's kind of the same with Harry Tector now.
Well, that's sort of the role that the Knights used Ross Adair for yesterday.
Yep.
Just gives the captain a bit more flexibility when it comes to the closing overs as to which bowlers he's going to go to.
Yeah, and just on that point, again, Ireland went through a stage there over the past sort of year or so. They were only picking 5 bowlers, so if Harry Tector can be that 6th, it could just give you in a T20 game maybe 1 or 2, or on an ODI 4 maybe. Just opens up possibilities if somebody doesn't come off. You've got that little bit of leeway.
You're not backed into the corner of you have to bowl him because he's the only one who has anything left.
Yeah.
It really does help out.
Will not do any harm. A couple of overs here. As I say, it's a good time to bowl, I would think, because Warriors just trying to reset here. Can't lose too many more. Boundaries have really dried up now. There's the one from Kit recently, and that's all.
Well, the Leinster Light would be delighted with this over from Harry Tector. That's been singles all the way so far. As Ali says, it's been a while since we've seen a boundary. Does that mean Kit's going to go for it now? It just goes to show you, 6 and over. All it takes is bat on ball and cooperation from your partner, and that brings up the 100 for the Northwest Warriors. They bring that up to 13 overs. However, they do have 4 wickets down, and certainly the Leinster Lightning, well, they'll be pleased enough. Now, for comparison, the Northwest Warriors reached their half-century in the 5th over, and it's taken them until the 13th to get the next 50.
If you just look at that run rate, for example, after 10 overs, they were at 9, it was 90, I think it was 90. We're looking at 9. The next 3 overs have only gone for those 10 runs. So that run rate dropped to 7.69 now, as you can see on your screen. City going to continue. You can see Kit itching now.
That's the word exactly. You get the feeling he's itching just to be able to free his arms to one of these deliveries.
You get the feeling that something's going to happen in this over. It'll either be in the gardens or curtains for Kit. That's nicely bowled, actually. Sidhu, give it a little bit of flight, tempting the batter.
talk about an innings just slipping by. There's now just over 6.5 overs to go for the Warriors to set a target here for the Leinster Lightning. Another good ball from Sidhu. He's doing a fabulous job for his captain.
Yeah, mixed it up. That was flattering into the pitch. Reverse sweep, a little bit unlucky. Got plenty on that. Andy McBride.
Still, that shot may have accomplished what he wanted to, which is to give the bowler something else to think about. Oh, I can't bowl there, he's going to reverse sweep it. It's another shot. Now, they're strengthening the field. Behind square on the offside. Harbison joining Riley.
It's top edged. He's going to get away with it. Well fielded. Riley on the pick up there. Yeah, they induced that shot, as you say. Opened up the leg side. Played the sweep. Last ball of the over. This hits well bowled from Sidhu. Another over ticks by. Similar to the last over. A peel off the last ball. Unsuccessful it was, but again it's a dot ball. Just a 2 from that over, and I kind of mentioned about 15-20 minutes ago you didn't want to just let the spinners tick a few overs by, and you don't want to be at 100 with sort of 6 to go. Well, that's exactly where we are.
Another change of bowling now at the St John's end. George Dockrell bringing himself back for his 4th over. Well, he's taken a wicket in each one of his previous 3. Oh, he'd love to do it again.
Bit of work to do right there. It's going to be 2 though. Comfortable 2. Nicely placed this time from McBride. Again, that quicker ball from Dockrell this time. Straight to fee on hand. Just a single. And similar to the last over. I think it's going to try and up that run rate. It's only 11 off 18. The Warriors could do with some of those big hits I talked about. Maybe one there.
The first boundary we've seen in a while.
Yep.
Gates swinging on that one, forcing it away to square leg.
Yeah, I think Dockrell may have thought he was coming down the track there and just sort of dragged his length back, but gets sat in his crease. There he did, sort of indicate to come down.
Dockrell not being a massive spinner of the ball. Well, with his experience, he's learned how to change his pace up and down the scale, provide different questions.
That'll just be one. Tactor down there. Square leg boundary. So yeah. George Dockrell will be thinking, get kids coming at him here. Does pull it down. In the air, but it's going to be short. Seamus Lynch down there. Just in front of his mum, who I think is down there. Watching Seamus. Just came in before the game. It's in your club.
Well, a bit of acceleration in that over for the Warriors. 10 coming from that over. Whereas the previous 10 had taken 4 overs to come.
Yep.
Again, it's that difference to just reaching the fence every so often. It just keeps that run rate moving upwards.
Yeah, definitely has. It said it in City's last over, but I definitely think that Kate's going to take this one on. 5 overs to go. And surely the Warriors are going to say they're going to need 160 here. Not now. No single there. I think she can get Kate. Behind up. That straight boundary here. There it is. Has he got enough on it? Oh, terrific catch down there. Really is. He holds the pose a little bit, but that is a terrific catch. Flat. Along the ground, horizontal to the ground as he took it. It's a real good takedown there. Kennel feeling a little bit aggrieved.
Well, you could sense there was almost the inner demons of, we've got to get on with this, we've got to go for the big hit. And he went for it, hoping to clear the boundary down there. You see, just off the bottom of the bat, making a good 10 metres and a great catch. I do believe that's Barry McCarthy.
I think it may well be down there. I can't quite see, as you said, it's as far away as possible. It is Barry down there.
Well, he held the pose.
He did.
Probably checking, make sure if anything hurt after the landing like that.
Making sure he got the photograph. On for the Instagram later. It was a terrific effort there. And as we sort of said, Kate was hanging up that straight boundary. It's going to be Scott Macbeth who's come in. For me, maybe a spot or two too low. Just for my liking, I think Scott maybe should be coming in 4 here for this Warriors side, giving himself time to knock it around. We've seen yesterday, he's got the par game. Whereas now, he's almost got to start from ball 1 here. We've only got 4 overs left here. Can't really go even at a run of ball now. Got to really get on with it. I just would like to see him coming in with plenty of overs to spare. I think he's too good a player to be sitting down at 6, 7 possibly even.
I think you're right. Anytime I've seen him, he's been impressive.
Yeah, he's going for 2. That's a good bit of running. Good bit of running there.
He knew straight away, as soon as he hit that off the bat, he was looking for 2. And it's that commitment to the 2 that enabled them to get there. Well, chased down by the bowler. He realised how big the field was on that side.
That's it. If we look to the offside, the leg side for Andy McBride, it's like they're right on the boundary. So they're pretty much 2 if you do get it on it.
It's one of those ones where you almost don't want to hit it too hard.
That's it. It's going to be
Just
perfect in the ring.
Drop it into the middle.
But once again, look at City's figures here. He'll be absolutely delighted with that so far. That's really floated up, pushed into the leg side. Don't think he's going to get 2. Harbinson quickly round. Back into Tucker. Really good set. Should we get a round of applause here from his teammates? Yeah, there you go. George Dockrell well happy with Ami Sidhu coming into the team today. 4 overs, 1 for 16. Excellent return. Just 4 overs left now. 117 for 5.
Well, certainly looks a lot different to how we thought it was going to. When at the end of the power play there was 69 for 1. And since then, well, the Leinster Lightning have applied pressure. They've taken wickets, they've slowed the rate. As we say, at 10 overs, the rate was up at 9 and over, which would have suggested a total of in excess of 180. But the loss of the wickets has really pegged them back.
Yeah, so those 10 overs you're talking about, less than 50 really. A little bit more than that in the middle overs they've set up here, and really it's going to have to be a big finish here. Not easy. Barry McCarthy coming back. Look at the field here. Yep. Send George Dockrell back onto the deep mid-wicket boundary. Tim Tector is also on the boundary, deep square leg. Just in front of us here, Sam Harmanson is it long on. So 3 boundary riders, in fact 4. Fine leg as well. And that's exactly where he's hit it. Picks out the square leg one of Tim Tector. So just one. Lightning will take those all day long.
Very much so at this stage. Singles are definitely what the Leinster Lightning, singles and dots. Whereas the Warriors, well, they're searching for the fence, but they're not having much fortune finding it at the moment. Shane Getgate was the last to try. He fell to a fabulous catch from Barry McCarthy.
Yeah, just it's quite a strange sensation here. You can kind of almost feel the energy being sucked out of the Warriors' innings here. You know, it was all going well, and just as the last sort of even 5 to 6 overs, you can just feel the momentum, as I say, almost being sucked away from them. Conversely, the team in blue, a lot more chat in the field. Slower ball. Negotiated by Scott Macbeth.
Well, with the right-hander, left-hander, every time they do take a single,
Yeah,
it appears every fielder has to move somewhere.
that's it. Little blue flies running everywhere. But again, just the 3 off the first 4 balls of this. This is the 17th over. You'd be expecting at least 1 boundary and over at this stage. To be fair, Andy McBride does his best there. Goes for the 2. Little misfield. Mormanson, so that gives him a comfortable 2. But again, even that 2, that's okay. Nothing crossing the ropes.
Ordinarily, these last 5 overs, 4 overs, would be where you'd see the fireworks. But the bowling of the Leinster Lightning, well, it's not really given the Warriors an opportunity to free their hands. That last shot, McBride, you could see, would step right back to open up. And this one's straight up in the air.
That's the highest of the day, I think. Yep.
And a fine catch.
Beautifully taken, though.
He may have been under it. It may not have travelled that far across the ground, but it went up a long way. And that's the end of the skipper. And he departs for 17. And that's the 6th wicket down with the score on 122.
Yeah. Can't have any blame for McBride there. Had to try and get on with it. Just tried to hit McCarthy back down the ground. Top edge though, skewed away to 45. Only Riley settled himself under it, took it comfortably. McBride goes for 17. Brings out Graham Hume. We know he can hit a ball, but Really the pressure firmly on the Warriors now to be in such a good position earlier. And it really has
Sort of just
stalled.
Just sort of dribbled away really from the Warriors.
Yeah.
It's just been a gentle applying of the pressure by the Leinster Lightning. They've taken wickets at the right time. Each time you've thought that the Warriors were going to try and push it on, a wicket has fallen. It's just sort of knocked the stuffing
Yeah,
out of them.
it just feels a little bit like when you're a fast bowler and you're warming up with one of those sort of elastics and you're running against the tide, you know. Just feels like they've been really struggling to get going. That's okay. It's not going to be a run though. Straight to attack there. Almost hit that too well. 2 dots again though. And really, there's your crux again. We're having a word with the analyst. Since the power play ended and that wicket fell, the very first ball after the power play, the number of dot balls that there have been has increased exponentially. There's too many balls where they haven't scored runs. Boundaries don't come, and that just combined means that the run rate will automatically drop dramatically.
Well, if there's anyone in the Northwest Warriors who will be able to find the rope, Graham Hume.
Well, he definitely can.
If he gets it right, it goes a long way. There was a Bob Kerr semi-final, I think, last year, where he played very well.
Yeah, but again, doesn't really get much batting these days. You know, T20 obviously is the position he's in. He's only going to come in for 2 or 3 overs really. And if he's in earlier, the team's in a lot of trouble. And then in his one-day games, you know, similarly, he hasn't had bats the same for his club, about 7 or 8 for Warring's time. For Ireland, he's been coming in 10 and 11 at times. So he has got a lead at bat, but this is the difficulty and opportunity really. I'm sure he'd be keen to finish these 2 overs, but yet again, no boundaries coming. Free on hand, just going for 3 singles so far rather. And really, you're getting to the stage now where this almost has to cross the ropes.
Nice ball from hand.
Yeah, really good from Fee on hand.
It's not often you see the 18th over only going for 3 runs. And that's what's happened here. Just 2 overs remaining now. Yes, 69 for 1 at the end of the power play, and they haven't even reached double that score. And we're now heading into the 19th over. Barry McCarthy to finish out his spell, and then I suspect Fionn Hand to finish out the innings from the other end.
You would think so, and it really has been just symptomatic of this. I mean, if we were in a chasing situation here and you said that the 18th over went for 3 runs,
yeah,
you'd be saying, you know, not great. That's been a change in the situation, but because they're setting, it's just as important. Full toss, but we're going to cost 1 again.
Now, ordinarily you'd say, well, if you were going to concede a single every ball from these last 2 overs and concede 12 runs, the fielding side would be quite happy.
Yeah.
I think Leinster want to keep it below 10 in those last 2 overs.
Well, the way it's been going, that seems to be the way. As I say, it's been going just 3, 4 and over. But yeah, even that, I think if he If you over the lightning now to walk off the field at, 137, I think they'd probably take it. Yeah, the last boundary, 15th over. We go a long way back before that. So boundary just completely dried up in the second half of this innings.
Sun coming out at Sydney Parade as McCarthy comes in.
Nicely hit by Macbeth, but once again, straight down to Seamus Lynch. Just one. Go back to it. Just think Scott Macbeth's coming in too late here. Definitely look to get him up to number 4 tomorrow, possibly.
And with Wilson coming down, would you put Scott in at 3 and perhaps Wilson at 4 or 5?
Well, it kind of depends what you want to do with Kane Hilton. He's coming in 4 at the moment. Don't mind Jad Wilson, he's come off today. If you want to put him in as a pinch hitter role, possibly, that's fine, but I'd possibly look to get Scott Macbeth in at 4. And Kane Hilton at 5, maybe. I just think he's too good a player, I think, to be batting down at 7.
Well, this is the first festival of the season. There'll be other games, and we may find that the Northwest revisit things after reviewing this festival.
There's going to be a boundary, I think. Yep, just got a little bottom edge on that. Looking for the Yorker. Finally, we see the umpire giving a 4 sign. It's taken a while.
As you say, 15th over since we last saw that, and in fact, as that boundary raced away to the boundary, I noticed in the Northwest Warriors players' tent, no great outpouring of joy. They know that they've kind of squandered a most excellent start.
He'll be in the air, but it'll just be 1. Chipped in the leg side, plenty of protection.
The other thing, of course, we've seen is the first day we had scores of 134 and 119. This score 136, so maybe it is about par. It's just that the Northern Knights have changed everybody's expectation by scoring 224.
Well, yeah, possibly, but then, they were going at 9 and over, less than 9 overs ago, and, 90 for 2 or 3, whatever it was, then certainly wouldn't be looking at 133 at the end of the innings. 43 or thereabouts in 10, 9 at the moment. Oh, beautifully bowled.
Well, Macbeth had set himself up for the baseball shot, and he had a wide stance. He was ready to attack that one, and McCarthy saw it and his experience bowled it right in at the batsman. No room for him. And that meant that after 19 overs, 133 for 6.
Just looking at Barry McCarthy's figures there, he's been positively whacked around the ground today compared to yesterday. But still, 1 for 33.
6 for 36 over the 2 days. I think he'd take.
Well, he definitely would.
But, yeah. Look, today was a different day. Cricket is a wonderful mistress. She'll praise you one day and the next day absolutely crush you. So I think McCarthy will be happy enough with his performance here, his bowling.
He still has something to talk about later with that catch, of course. Anyway, fee on hand in to finish the job here. And it'll be 1 again. McCarthy for the run out.
Oh, great effort.
Would have been gone for sure.
Just noticing there, as fee on hand came in to bowl, McCarthy was a good few feet in off the rope. He sort of sensed that the chance of a run out might be there. Now he goes back to the fence.
Yeah, this might sound like the Barry McCarthy fan club in here, but it is actually another point to his game. His fielding has been excellent over these 2 days. Taking that catch, and he's a live wire in the field. Just adds to his whole repertoire, really. He's in action again here. It's nice and simple.
You just can't keep him out of the game at the moment. It's fielding, catching or bowling. He's done it all.
Yet again, no, just singles. The run rate has dropped, below 7, so it's basically just saying we're getting to 140 here. Full ball, only going to be one more. Good field positions for the Lightning. Just the one. You can literally feel the frustration here for the Warriors, as you said a couple of balls ago. Craig, that tent over there. Not much energy in it.
I think the Lightning will be delighted with the way this innings has turned out. Just kept at the job.
They're going to push 2 here. That one's in the middle. And gets there. Gets that 2. Just 2 balls left in this innings. It is quite remarkable. We're used to seeing 10 overs going for, 100 plus the back end of an innings. We're going to be looking possibly here at the last 10 going for just 50. Short, top edge, and we're going to get a boundary. Take it over that. Has it gone all the way? I think it has. So not in control, Scott Macbeth, of that shot, but I can assure you that the Northwest Warriors will take that.
Well, you say might not have had control, but the result was exactly what the Warriors are looking for. He was just too cramped up on it, and it took a top edge and flew away to the boundary behind Lorcan Tucker. Third man couldn't get across. 6 more runs onto the total.
Last ball. That's nice work from Scott Macbeth. The ball just arrives into our tent here. And let's just give a little bit of positivity to the Northwest Warriors. A good finish, 6-4 to finish the innings. They end up with 148 for 6. We'll just see the last ball there. It was a nice shot from Scott Macbeth. Got outside the line and played the paddle behind the keeper. So as I say, 148 for 6. Macbeth with that 6 and 4 ends on 21 of 16. Graham Hume 8 not out, but you'd have to say a bit of a sorry back half of the innings there for the Warriors. They were looking really set at 90 for 1 from 10. But it's only halfway. They've got 148. Let's see if they can defend that in the second half. Fielders just on the right. There's the Warriors lineup. Stephen Doherty getting out early to that pull shot. Doherty hung around, but it was Jared Wilson who gave it the impetus earlier on. 39 off just 17. But he got out straight after the power play, and it became really difficult then with wickets falling fairly regularly. And the strike rates, as you can see there, pretty much a run of ball from everybody bar Wilson. And Macbeth just getting above 100 strike rate with those 2 boundaries in the last 2 balls of the innings. 148 total. And the partnerships up top, 14 and 55, got them off to that good start. And a low, the partnerships of 14-7, 22-10, and 26. It was the rate that they came at was the problem. And that just took them up to 148.
Well, with the ball, after yesterday's heroics, McCarthy didn't get the same lucks today. Just 1 for 33 off his 4 overs. But certainly the pick of the bowlers today was George Dockrell. He brought himself on. We felt maybe to just shield Sidhu from the onslaught that had been coming, and he took a wicket with his first ball, and that broke the partnership that had been so destructive for the Warriors. And after that, he picked up another 2. Sidhu picked up a wicket, delighted to see for him, and all in all, a good bowling performance to pull it back for the Lightning. This is the match summary, and the Leinster Lightning will be chasing 149 for victory, and we hope you'll join us for that second innings in about 10 minutes.
Welcome back to Sydney Parade, home of Pembroke Cricket Club here in Dublin. Day 2 of the IP20 Festival and game 2 here. And we're into the second innings. You can see the Leinster Lightning batters out in the middle. Just coming onto screen, the Northwest Warriors, led by Captain Andy McBride. They chose to bat first. And it was definitely a game of two halves, as we would say. Certainly the first 10 went the way of the Warriors. 90 runs on the board in those first 10, but just 58 runs scored in the last 10 overs for the Warriors. The innings really did grind to a halt. It means then that the Leinster Lightning will be chasing 149. So, yeah, just about to say, Craig, you're back with me again, and we're set here for the Leinster Lightning innings chasing 149.
Well, it's only up at 149 because in that last over, 6 and a 4 really gave a little boost to the Northwest total. But again, they'll feel that they didn't take advantage of the very good solid base they started with. As Ali says, 90 for 3 off 10.
Graham Hume taking the new ball. And the opening batters for Lightning. Just in front of you there, number 4. That's Tim Tector. And on strike at the moment is Andrew Balburney. Squirts that off outside edge. Liam Doherty down there on the boundary. One of the 2 boundary riders allowed in this first power play. Balburney off the mark.
Well, yes, this first power play of 6 overs is going to be very important for the Leinster Lightning in their chase, their pursuit of this total. The Northwest Warriors putting up 148 for 6. And despite that slow down in the second 10 overs, it's still a total they feel they have a chance to defend, especially if they can make early inroads.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the key again. Got to take some wickets early here. Not like that. Bang in form, this fella. Team Tector. 54 yesterday. He's started in the same manner today.
On this
Plenty
occasion,
of time.
Hume giving him a bit of width. He was able to free his arms and pull across the ball. It flew out to cow corner. Well, the sun is out now. Shadows on the ground. And it's encouraging people to visit us here in Sydney Parade.
Only Ned's that time. Possibly one of the few times we've said over the past 2 days did just pop a little bit in the pitch. Maybe a little bit too paced that occasion. It's played really quite well for a wicket that we're talking about early May. Can't think any of the 4 teams can complain about the wicket in any way.
Not just the wicket, the outfield has run beautifully over this festival so far.
Absolutely. That's short, it's in the air, it's top edge, but it's gone straight over the bowler, sorry, the keeper's head. They're just going to check if it's gone all the way. Just asking the fielder, and indeed, Seaver raises the 2 arms, it's gone all the way. Fortunate for Tector, as we say. Fairly safe back there.
We have seen a few runs scored over the keepers' heads in these games so far.
That's in the air, and that's gone. Nicely taken. It's Andy McBride. Of a wide point area. Took the top of the edge of the bat. Good bit of lift there from Graham Hume. 6-4 and out. Tim Tector. Despite conceding those couple of boundaries, vital breakthrough for the Warriors.
Very much so. Hume coming in. He's put a lot of effort into this over. And this one, it just popped again. Flew off the edge of the bat, out to the gully, and a fine catch. Tim Tector finds himself back in the pavilion. And that's exactly the start the Warriors would have wanted. End of the first over, 11 for 1.
Yeah, just looking at that replay again. A bit of a... telling him Tim Tector how to bat, but just looked at it come a little bit from out the end. That's what sort of didn't bring the bat down square. Took the edge. As I said, decent catch from Andy McBride, diving forward. And that brings in his number 3 on his back, Morgan Tucker. These two have batted together many times.
Well, both of them came up through the youth section at Pembroke. They'll know this wicket, this ground exceptionally well. So Ryan Macbeth now opening up from the nursery end.
Yeah, different challenge Macbeth poses. Likes to swing the ball away from the right-hander generally, with the odd one nipping back in for a change-up. So what way does Morgan Tucker approach this? Maybe short of runs lately in interprovincial and representative cricket. Certainly got 100 for Pembroke last Saturday. There's your answer.
Positively.
Yep.
Doesn't quite make the fence. Only gets 2 for that shot.
Yeah, but generally, do you think he is going to play that way?
I think it's
his natural game.
It's his natural game. And I think chasing a total of 149, his natural game is the game that the Leinster Lightning will be looking for. He will look to be positive. Well, big shout from the Northwest Warriors on that occasion. Umpire Hawthorne unmoved. But as you say, a fine bowler. Macbeth. And again,
it's in the air. Oh, it's been dropped. And almost pushed over to the boundary. Massive chance for the Warriors. Again, he called it, but the man was running in from the boundary. May have been the better option. Coming on to the ball. Always when you have to turn, sprint after the ball. And possibly been better served leaving that. Nicely bowled Macbeth. That's his stock ball. Yeah, I think that's Cian Hilton possibly. His Stephen Duffany has taken the gloves this occasion. That's what threw me a little. I thought it was Hilton, but he was behind the stumps yesterday. Stephen Duffany has taken up his position behind the sticks though. There's Cian Hilton there. Possibly that enthusiasm of youth Maybe he could have left that for the man on the boundary.
Well, he did call it early.
Well, to be fair, he did.
And the fielder on the boundary, well, left him well enough alone.
Yeah.
Gerard Wilson it was who pulled out of it and left it all for Hilton. He called for it, and unfortunately it fell to turf through his hands.
A big moment though. Second wicket there in the second over. Could have just brought the Warriors back into the game that little bit further. Tucker survives.
Well, you could see from the last ball of that over, he tried to lap it round to the leg side. He's looking just to flick it there. He's definitely going to be positive out in the middle, that's for sure. Well, no slip, but a gully in place, Shane Getgate. Very aware that Andrew Balboni likes to play it down there towards those tents, towards the Willfield Road gate, down towards third man.
Yeah, big spell this for Graham Hume. Sort of renowned for his accuracy at the top of the order. Like to add those wickets to that accuracy. That's the standard ball from Graham Hume, just short of a length. And at the body, likes to rack up the dot balls, but as I say, he would like to add a few wickets. He's got one already in his first over. Again, trying to play that lap shot. Didn't get anything on it.
Well, it won't be too discouraging for the Northwest Warriors bowlers to see these Lightning players playing these laps and unusual shots. Yes, they are T20 shots, but they do give opportunities.
Yeah, that time just too full. Graham Hume coming away from his natural length. Unlike Stump. Alberni well happy with that. Play it into the open spaces on the leg side. Yeah, a bit of a gimme there.
Just angled in towards the batsman. He helped it on its way. 4 more onto the total.
That's the area talking about there. It's as usual. That's where his field is. Was a little bit uppish again, but safely negotiated the field. Brings Tucker on strike to face Hume for the first time. Shuffles across his crease. Nicely bowled from Hume though. Still decent enough over. Unsuccessful. In terms of wickets, 21 for 1 from 3.
Well, the Leinster Lightning management team won't be too upset at the moment. Going along just at the required rate. 7 and over. They need 7.5 from here on in, but those two figures are very close. And the important thing is just 1 wicket down. It would enable these two to get themselves established. As we've been saying time and time again, it appears on this wicket, you need to spend some time to get yourself in before you can then go on the attack. Mind you, the Northern Knights just went on the attack this morning.
That's a kid in the air. Just falling short of Scott Macbeth, who is positioned in that backward point area. That's already a wicket gone there and a couple of other aerial shots through that region. Balburney tries to change up the length there. A couple of steps down the track, but again, no timing.
That one just coming off the bottom of the bat. No power in behind it. It just trickled out in the offside.
Just seemed to be searching a little bit here, Andrew Balburney. Just trying to find one right off the middle. Take a picture of that one and leave. In T20 cricket, don't see too many of those.
No. Well, that's coming right over our heads.
Yep.
Certainly a top edge, certainly not where he was aiming, but 6 more onto the total.
Extraordinary how far that's gone.
Let's see how far across he went. Stumps well on view behind his legs. And that one, well, that's our black tent there. That's where we're abscond.
Yep. Just be one. Liam Doherty out there. He's the boundary rider out there. The Keith Carmichael rule. Patrolling. The leg side. Fielded. Keeps that down. Just top ball. Just the 2 scoring shots from that over. Still 7 from it. That run rate you were talking about, Craig, exactly kept up. 7 and over. This could be an important moment in the game right here. You can see on your screen there, Craig Young taking the jumper off. The cap will go in a second. He's going to come on to bowl the 5th over here. Definitive wicket taker. You can hear a couple of the Warriors giving him the encouragement. As I say, I think this is a big moment in the game. Got to take a couple of wickets here, Craig Young.
Well, he's still in the power play, just 2 outside the ring at the moment. But yes, Craig Young, a wicket taker. And that's what the North West Warriors will be looking for here. They can take another wicket or 2 in the next 2 overs while still in the power play. I think they're very much in this game.
Too short. Too short. For a bit of a loosener, he hasn't got warmed up yet. Not bowling at his full pace. Balburney's able to get on top of that and pull it behind square. That seems the way to play the pull shot. Let it come to you and put it behind square rather than trying to hit it in front. Well, a lot of people have top edge, so good start to the over for Balburney. Just noticed a quick change in the field from when Graham Hume was bowling. As we mentioned, that point fielder had been in. He took the catch, McBride. Took the catch to get rid of Tector. Actually, Shane Getgate then had been in that position for the last over. He's been taken out of that point area and been put into mid-wicket. So that sort of area behind point is now vacant. It's short again. Bit of work to do out there. Hasn't done it. Valiant effort on the boundary. Jared Wilson, but can't get there. Another boundary to Balbirnie.
Craig Young, a very different bowler to Hume. On this occasion he tried to go short. Balbirnie was onto it straight away. But whereas Hume was trying to hit the pitch, hit the deck hard, and get that ball lifted to point, Young was looking to go higher. It didn't work.
This time over pitches. Driven on the offside. I think it'll be pulled in. It is. Scott Macbeth, quick over the ground, keeps it down to 2. But I mentioned that Craig Young needed to take wickets. He usually does that. A bit off his length here. Too short, too full at the minute. Balbirnie's got 10 already from this over. Pins his ex-captain there. Just walks back. I think it actually hit Balbirnie on the helmet, or we'll probably have a check here. Morgan Tucker's just nipping down to make sure he's okay. Yeah, we mentioned the first ball of the over. Something similar to that, but a couple of yards of pace shorter now that he's warmed up. That's not a great ball.
He was trying something there. I think the slower ball, and it wasn't to be. Slid down the leg side. Hayden Sievers all over that. Signals the wide. And so still 1 ball to go in Young's first over.
And I'm afraid that's short again. Same happened.
Well, that is rattling around inside the clubhouse. Went straight through the door. Well, we got our lovely meal at the break between the games. And now it's rattling around in there. But a good over for the Lightning. Not so much for the Northwest Warriors. There you see it disappearing in through the door.
Yeah, and Balbirnie didn't really have to do too much there. 3 very similar shots, just on the hip, just above, and he was able to just let them come on to him and dispatch them with no protection. 3 fours off the over, and 45 for 1 off 5.
Well, Tucker joining the party. Lifts the first ball of the over down towards, well, long on, wide long on, down to the 10s. Another 4, and suddenly runs are flowing for the Leinster Lightning.
That's what I always talk about in T20 cricket, just 1 over can change the momentum. Again, that's a half volley on leg stump on that occasion. Maybe trying to swing the ball from leg stump. It's a better line. But yeah, 1 over can just either lift you to new heights or knock the stuffing out of you. And the run rate, as we said, was 28 off 4. Wasn't too bad. But then those 3 boundaries and the 1 over just jumps that run rate right up to over 9 now. That's more than what's required.
Well, as the clouds have come over, the light of the sun, you can see it's just a little bit darker out there now. Whether the Northwest bowlers will be able to take advantage of the overhead conditions. We've yet to see, but it's just a bit chillier as well now.
Yeah, from sort of at the break in innings, we were just commenting it was probably the warmest it's been all day. It's just dropped away. Yeah, he's got hold of that. That's going to go for 4. Playing that little lap shot. Really got in position early. Got enough on it. See it again here.
Well, it was premeditated. He waited till the last possible moment to move across his stumps.
Yeah, and even when he had gone, he needed to go a little bit further because Ryan Macbeth tried to follow him. Now down the track. That's a lovely shot. And the boundaries are really flowing now. 3 more. And this over. And it's really 4 or a dot at the moment. Just drifting down on the leg side again. Only 1 back right there at the moment. And another boundary.
And although we're seeing all these boundaries, Leinster Lightning are still behind.
That's a dot ball. I was actually going to comment on that, Craig, that this is the type of innings, the Warriors innings is the type of innings we always like to do little comparisons and see where teams were at. 6 overs, 10 overs, and you see who's ahead. And just looking at that Warriors innings, I think it's going to be very difficult to do a comparison, really, because it just, as I say, the first 10 you were thinking really good, and then the second half really, so the actual comparison is quite difficult. But in terms of what you're saying, yeah, it was, what, 60?
69 after 6.
69 after 6.
And the Lightning 57 after 6. But as you say, the second 10 overs is a different game to the first 10 overs of the Northwest's innings. Whereas the Northwest were going at 9 and over for the first 10 and less than 6 and over for the second 10. The Lightning will be hoping to be more consistent than that, just building throughout the innings. That having been said, I say building. They're on 57 off 6, so they're nearly up at 10 and over anyway.
Yep, Craig Young coming in again. It's a much better length. Really cut Balbirnie in 2 there. Really good ball that time. I think he'd be disappointed with that first over. Craig Young. As I mentioned in that over, didn't have to try too hard, Balbirnie, to get boundaries.
Well, it was wide. Balbirnie has to stretch for it, but he got enough power on it to push it behind square on the offside. We were talking about this in the first game as well, with sides striving too hard to take wickets, and they're losing control as a result.
A little bit, yeah. They do understand that they're not going to win the game unless they take 10 wickets. So it does put you off a little bit that you've got to bowl that magic ball rather than build pressure. It just changes your game a little bit. If you can, sometimes you can take wickets just by building the pressure with dots and singles. But at 61 for 1, only requiring 149. Just in the back of your mind, you think you have to bowl that real special delivery that'll take a wicket.
Good pace from Young. Really bending his back into that one, getting it past Balbirnie.
Yeah, I think a wee bit of that, as I say, disappointment from that first over, maybe coming out. Craig Young here, experienced enough to know that you can bowl a bad over. As we always talk about, the bowlers can come back. hit into the leg side. Will it go all the way? I think it has. Nicely timed from Balbirnie. Taking Craig Young down for a few here today. A goal. 27 probably come from for Balbirnie. He's quickly on to 40. That's short. It's in the air. That's going to carry a long way. Another maximum, possibly not as fluent as that previous shot, but it's the same result. And yeah, Bernie not getting that where he wanted to, but he'll take the result. He moves on to 46, and team total 73 for 1.
Well, they're not all orthodox shots, but apart from that Kean Hilton drop out at square, there haven't really been too many chances either. Even the top edges have managed to carry the boundary. And the bag of balls is out again.
Yeah. Kind of similar to what we talked about in when the Warriors were batting. You can just feel the sort of energy dropping out of the side when they took that early wicket. And sort of had not any chances really, but kept Tucker quiet for that first over that he faced. But now with those boundaries and the partnership, as you can see on screen there, just really kicking into gear, going at well over 1.5 runs per ball. Up at 10 in the whole innings. Trent McKeegan give it a shot here for the Warriors. No time in there. Tucker, as we mentioned yesterday, McKeegan, regular wicket taker for the Warriors. He took the most wickets in IP20 for them last year, but does go for runs. And I suppose he's the opponent they need at the minute. Need wickets.
Deft touch from Tucker.
Should be cut off. It is. Andrew Balbirnie closing in on a half century here. He'll be delighted with that. Getting back into a little bit of rhythm. We would absolutely expect that Andrew Balbirnie's name will be in that team to play Pakistan in the next few weeks and indeed to go to the World Cup.
I think you're absolutely right, Ali. I think it'll be one of the early names on the team sheet. He's been a stalwart of the Irish team for a number of years now. But even so, the selectors will be delighted to see him scoring runs at this festival.
Definitely. Throw in that Paul Stirling already has 2 half centuries to his name, back-to-back days. Be the worst thing in the world for Ireland ahead of that 3 T20 series against Pakistan. Of course, the even bigger competition in a month's time over in America and the West Indies, the World Cup. They're opening 2 at the moment, Balbirnie and Stirling.
So good to see both openers in form.
Wide. Yep.
Well, they're halfway to their total now. 8th over.
low 6. It's not going to be an issue, wouldn't have thought. Quite get that in the middle. Gone for 4. Quite middle it. As we mentioned, the outfield has quickened up from this morning. A little bit of moisture.
Tracking that from outside off, as you say, not entirely off the middle of the bat. It's one of those awful ones that just keeps the fielder interested and they chase it all the way to the end.
Yeah, the carrot and the stick. Just always ahead of him there. Kind of knew he wasn't getting there, but always has to chase it down.
Goes big again, this time closer to the fielder. Gets round to it. They pick up another 2. And
Ryan Macbeth. Going for ball through. Sorry, Trent McKeegan there, that should be. Throw me there, it should be Trent McKeegan.
Incorrect name off on the screen, but it does not affect the fact that the Leinster Lightning have reached 82 for 1 from 8 overs.
Brian putting himself on here.
Kind of backed into a corner where he needs to change something. These two are dealing with pace handily enough, and perhaps spin is the way to go. Just change it up, see how they take this on.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult ask though, because as you can see that the run rate's less than run a ball. The field kind of naturally has to spread in this format. So plenty of gaps for the Lightning batters. Unless it was really turning, you know, and really making it difficult to pick off singles. Straight away, a reverse sweep comes out. Not worried about singles, Andrew Balburney. And he goes to a really well-made half century from 28 deliveries. Couple of streaky shots over the top of the keeper, but generally hit the ball quite well. 5 4s and 4 6s would indicate that. Just the 35 minutes and he's reached a half century. Misfield there through to Doheny. Doesn't gather it cleanly, doesn't cost a run though. Take a look at the field here. Brian has asked Scott Macbeth to come across to the offside, leaving the leg side completely vacant in the ring. Goes straight towards that man Macbeth. Yeah, that's good running, really good running. Yeah, skipper not particularly enamored with that. Yeah, really interested in that because nobody on the leg side, as I say, with an off spinner spinning the ball in towards Balburney. Normal. Go. Just tapped into that big gap, and they're going to take 2 here. That's terrific running, you have to say. It really is. He turned both of those last 2 shots from 1s into 2s. That makes it just doubles up there. Already 8 from the over.
Well, you can see that these two batsmen are set and they're feeling very comfortable. When you're taking singles like that, then you know that it's going well.
Yeah, risk-free cricket there, really.
Well, these two have put on 80 together now, with 9 overs completed. They came together in the first over when Tim Tector was out off the final ball of that over. So 8 overs, 80 runs. Well, they've played themselves in anyway. I think Balbirnie looking for a quick drink, having reached his half-century. Perhaps a pair of batting gloves as well.
Yeah, comfortable enough at the minute for the Lightning. And again, their own course for it, but you know, that bonus point could be important. Well ahead of it at the moment, the run rate. There's the partnership, 80 runs, just the 48 balls.
It's been an exciting 34 minutes.
Absolutely. You're in a green uniform out there. Trent McKeegan again. Just going to fall short. There's the luck we talked about in the previous game as well.
When it's going your way.
Definitely.
This is the sort of shot that Trent McKeegan thrives on. He wants the batsman lifting that.
Absolutely. Over to the offside. Almost as if Andrew Balbirnie asked Trent McKeegan, could you put it there, please? Because he was moving across to the offside. And the ball was placed perfectly on his hip as he swiveled around and was able to get under it. Just hit it well over the boundary for another 6. That's not going to be a catch. It's out in front of the man on the boundary. So just the one.
This is exactly why we have the Irish players in the provincial teams before this Pakistan series, is to get them some time in the middle. And some of them are making the absolute most of this. Tucker very much the junior partner in this partnership at the moment.
Yep.
And still striking above 100.
Yep, you're absolutely right. The Irish guys have been in the squad for quite some time. In the interprovincials here at this festival. It's great to see. Certainly the two opening batters here. Beating Goodnick. That's an extraordinary shot. Just picked up. It carries miles over the boundary. Really just picked off his toes. More of a hockey shot, really, you know, but he's absolutely middled that. It's carried almost onto the railway line. There you can see.
You actually heard the thud of it hitting those advertising hoardings. Beautiful shot. Not bad for the junior partner of a partnership.
Yeah, he spoke too soon. You can see setting up in hitting mode now, Larkin Tucker. Sort of as if he was in the last 2 or 3 overs of an innings. You can see he's already setting himself. And almost at the Lightning have certainly broken the back of this chase. And they're looking to finish it as quickly as possible. And I'm not wanting to speak too soon here, Craig, but it does look almost certainly the Lightning are going to make it 2 from 2, and tomorrow We'll then have a game in the afternoon between the unbeaten Northern Knights and what looks to be unlikely unbeaten Leinster Lightning.
It'll be an excellent clash tomorrow afternoon. 3:45 start. If you're starting your bank holiday weekend early, I suggest coming down Sydney Parade. You'll be able to catch that game. And of course, join us in the morning when the Northwest Warriors and the Munster Reds will both be looking to open their accounts in the wing column. Oh, that's a lovely shot.
Here we get the full range here now. Tucker.
I get the feeling I've upset Tucker the way I upset Paul Sterling yesterday.
I think you have, because he's now rapidly moved on to 36. Should just be one. But yeah, those last two shots that Tucker hit as clean as anything we've seen.
And that's his speciality, is the timing. He's such a good timer of the ball. When it's going well for him, you almost don't hear the ball off the bat.
We can hear that one though. That's a crash of it through the offside, and it's a bit of an exhibition here from these two.
It's gone very quiet in the field now, as you'd expect. That one just too wide and Balboni onto it. Well, you've got a man with 60 odd runs. You don't really want to just drop one outside off like that. Yeah, I think the Irish selectors will be delighted with the way the Irish established internationals have played this week. Mark Adair's done a super job with the Northern Knights. Barry McCarthy was bowling yesterday. George Dockrell picking up 3 wickets today. All very positive for the Irish squad.
Very much so. Always good to be going in with a wee bit of form behind you, no matter what level you're playing at. Into that over. Another quite expensive one. 13 from it.
And these two, of course, have now put on over 100 together.
Yeah.
107 partnership. Tucker with 38 of those. Well, 31 more required. 54 balls.
Yeah, we're going to see Scott Macbeth now bowling. I mentioned that he's possibly too low on the order for the Warriors. And I think to see him bowling a little bit more as well. A talented cricketer. Not a great time. We mentioned in the first innings that it was a good time for Sidhu to come on when the Warriors were trying to rebuild. And he came on and bowled his 4 overs for almost nothing. This is not a great time to be bowling, I don't think. That's sort of demonstrated by that. Just clips the top of the wall as it bounces over.
Bit of a ricochet there. 6 more onto the total. Now Tucker.
Just watch this ball heading down there. Morgan Tucker knows it's 6 from the minute he hits it. There it goes. It's off the top of the wall.
Scattering the spectators. Super shot.
Yeah, so if I had been Scott Macbeth and Andy McBride was throwing me the ball, I might have on this occasion said, "No thanks, Skip." This is not a great time to be coming on. Another new ball.
But from McBride's point of view, he's given Scott Macbeth a chance here, and he's got the freedom to bowl as he wants to, because nobody's expecting too much from him, and it may be that it's the perfect time for him to bowl.
That could be a wicket. I think it will be. And it is, as you mentioned. She can get out there on the boundary. Usually very safe. I think every ball was going to go there. didn't quite get it off the middle of the bat. Floats out the shank at Kitty, settles under, takes the catch, but yeah, Tucker.
Celebration's a little muted.
A little bit muted, yeah. There's not much high-fiving going on out there, let's put it that way, but a wicket for Macbeth.
Maybe it is the perfect time for it to bowl. He's, as I said, he's the freedom to bowl as he wishes.
Well, obviously that changes a little bit now. A new batter coming in. All right. Sorry, Tector. But, you know, Larkin Tucker was teeing off every ball there by that stage. And it could have got a little bit ugly.
Well, this is the interesting part now, because Harry Tector would have been sitting on the sideline watching the ball disappearing to all corners. And now he's coming out to bat. He has to remember that he's got to get himself in first. Yeah. And he's got a partner there who's teeing off. So there's no need for him to go mad looking for the boundary rope straight away. He can afford to push it around for a bit, get himself settled.
I think that'll be the case. There's no pressure on the game, really. And yeah, I think McBrien's going to try and put a little bit of pressure on the field. Bringing a few more men into the ring. Yet another one. Oh, sorry, one comes in, one goes out. McBrien has put himself in its slip. So you got four in the ring, plus that slip. That's beautifully cut backward of that man on the boundary. That's not a bad way to get off the mark. Beautifully played.
Well, it's lovely. Just a cricket shot. As I say, playing himself in. Plays that 4 around.
Similar to the shots we saw Paul Stirling play earlier. Not really needing to hit the ball with a great deal of power to get it to the boundary. Just timing. Oh.
Well, I'm glad he played himself in first. That's ridiculous.
Dear, dear, dear.
He's just gone down one knee there and just pulled that for 6 straight over cow corner. And he's 10 off 2 balls, and he can consider himself played in now.
Definitely.
Now he can go for it.
I mean, just beggars belief these days, doesn't it? I mean,
10 off 2 balls.
I think we're swinging back to my way now. I think Craig, he's gone for 14 off 4 now. 16 off 4, sorry. So we're back to...
Yeah, 1 for 16 off 10 sounds brilliant, but 1 for 16 off 4 balls.
Yeah.
A rude awakening for Scott Macbeth.
I think he was eyeing up. But pulls out of the leg side shot and just taps it for a single.
And all of a sudden, it's just 14 runs required.
That's well done, Graham Hume, actually.
He's done well to save that single, because the way the 2 bats set off, they were looking for 2. And he has cut that one off. And the score after 12 overs, 136 for 1. 13 required for victory.
18 coming from that Scott Macbeth over. And as you say, Craig, just the 13 needed now. Turning back to Graham Hume. May as well.
You've got to throw all your cards on the table now.
Most definitely.
Hope that something matches up.
As we mentioned in the Warriors innings, that overs had just disappeared really quickly, and suddenly there were 15, 16 gone. Look at this innings now. We're only on 12. A few moments ago, you know, we were talking that they were going to look at the run rate now. They've just really accelerated. 136 for 2 and only 12 overs gone. turning to Graham Hume.
Well, he was the wicket taker in the first over. Can he repeat that?
Calmly just ran down to third man. Surely they're not just going to knock this off on singles, are they? Perfectly entitled to.
Well, the way Harry Tector started, and the way Andy Balboni has reached 70, one suspects that, it's not going to be singles.
Don't think so.
I don't think they're going to turn down singles, though.
No.
And I think they'll still try and turn singles into twos. Very professional performance by this Leinster Lightning batting order today.
Yeah, there it is. Taking the single, as you say. Batting has been very, very efficient. Possibly the coach will be looking at those first 10 overs when they bowled, but apart from that.
Well, the one guy who's going to be feeling the worst out there, Cian Hilton.
Yeah.
That catch would have changed things. One suspects not too much, and he shouldn't be too hard on himself. It was an extremely difficult chance, and nobody's catching that one, except maybe somebody who wants a plane somewhere.
Yeah, that's been just deposited onto that road again. And they're doing this at an absolute counter now, the Lightning, but as I say, it won't be a long team meeting, I don't think, for the Lightning tonight. Warriors maybe a little bit longer. A comprehensive performance here from Leinster, and as I said, it does set up a big game tomorrow. Between the Knights and the Lightning. That could be 4 more, and is. Takes us to level scores.
It's been a fascinating game because those first 10 overs for the Northwest Warriors really thought that they were going to put up a big total, put it up to the Lightning. But then the Lightning just applied the pressure bit by bit. Those last 10 overs, 58 runs. Well, there's been a massive difference in this game.
Yeah, it's been possibly even, could be the most comprehensive victory so far, and there've been 3 already. That'll do it right there. It's going to be just one more. 149 is up. Hands are shaking in the middle. Balbirnie goes to 81. The only thing he may be a little bit disappointed he can't get to his ton. He played beautifully. Harry Tector supports him, not out there with 12. It was Lorcan Tucker with the major partnership of the innings with Balbirnie, but really no dramas for the Leinster Lightning at all. They go 2 from 2. And the Warriors well beaten on this occasion. Just the 12.5 overs to reach the target. Unfortunately, they've lost both games. They'll try again tomorrow against the Munster Reds, but yeah, completely efficient from the Lightning, Craig.
Very much so. Very professional, very clinical. And once they took that second wicket, the moment that changed the game was George Dockrell's first ball. Took a wicket, broke the momentum of the Northwest Warriors. They never regained it. And then on the batting side, well, that is some display. I, for one, will be going home to watch that innings again on YouTube because, well, maybe muted, but I'll watch it on YouTube because that was such a display of clean hitting by Lorcan Tucker and Andy Balbirnie. And as I said, the Irish side will be delighted to see so many players hitting form.
Yeah, it's a really good point about the Ireland players who we expect to be named this week for the squad to play Pakistan. They've been doing well so far. 2 days, they'll all be in action again tomorrow, we would think. Let's see, there's the post-match handshakes. And really good stuff from the Lightning.
Well, that will be one happy camp this evening. It sets up, as you say, a fabulous last day here in the IP20 T20 Festival.
We go right back earlier today, and a really, really strange innings from the Northwest Warriors. Got off to a really good start. Lost Docherty early, but Docherty and Jared Wilson in particular got them through a really good power play. Wilson's 39 off 17, doing exactly what we think he was sent in to do. But then, after that ball you talked about, Craig got rid of Jared Wilson. The first ball from George Dockrell, well, he just fell into a hole from there. Double figure scores certainly, but if you look at the balls faced as well, nobody until Scott Macbeth scoring really at any rate at all, and that was only because he scored 6 and 4 off the last two. And really, from a really good position at the halfway stage, only to get 148 for the loss of just 6 wickets. There's the partnerships, 14, and a good partnership between Docherty and particularly Wilson, as you say, the major contributor, 39 out of that 55. But it was the balls faced for the rest of it that really let down the Warriors. Just that 58 runs in the last 10 overs.
Well, the Leinster Lightning be delighted with the way they pulled it back. They conceded 90 runs in the first 10 overs. You can see that reflected in the economy rates of Harbison, McCarthy and Hand. But Dockrell came in, he took 3 for 21 from his 4 overs, and then tight bowling from Sidhu. We thought that Dockrell was protecting him. I don't think he needed to. He did a fabulous job, 1 for 16 from his 4 overs, and then Harry Tekchak just filled in an over just at the end. Just the 7 extras, pleasing for the Leinster Lightning. Then it came to the batting, and my goodness, what a show was put on for us today. For the people who made it down here to Pembroke, they'd have loved watching that. Balbirnie not out 81, the highest score we've seen here at the festival so far, and it only took him 44 balls to get there. Tim Tekchak was very bright at the start, a couple of firm hits before he fell, and then Tucker came in and provided such support for Balbirnie. I say support, he scored 44 off 25, so it meant that Balbirnie didn't really have to chase deliveries, and he could play at his own pace. Harry Tekchak came back in the end. He faced his first 2 balls, he scored 10. Next 2 balls, he scored the other 2, and that was enough for them to get home. Fair play to the Northwest Warriors, just the 2 extras in that innings. But overall, it was that partnership of 113 between Andrew Balbirnie and Lorcan Tucker that really put the game to bed for Leinster. By the time that was broken, it was just too much.
And the Warriors bowling there, Graham Hume taking his wicket in the first over, just give them that little bit of glimmer of hope. But after that, you can see nothing really until Scott Macbeth got Lorcan Tucker at the death. But if you look at the runs per over for every bowler there, only Rand Macbeth going at single digits, and that was 8. Everyone else took a great deal of punishment there. And the match summary at the end, as we say, the Warriors 148, a little bit below par from where they were at the halfway stage. George Dockrell with 3 for 21, and then the batters took over, and the Leinster Lightning comfortably win this game by 8 wickets. So as we mentioned then, that sets up a really interesting day tomorrow. First of all, Munster Reds will be taking on the Northwest Warriors in a game where both sides at the moment have no points. And then tomorrow afternoon, it'll be the Knights against the Lightning here at Sydney Parade. From myself, Ollie McCalman, and beside me, Craig Senior, and all the team here at HBV. Be great for you to come along tomorrow and join us for those 2 games. But until then, we bid you a very good evening.